Most men completely miss this. A woman's touch isn't random, it's a signal. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something most men completely overlook, a woman's touch. And let me tell you right now, if you're missing this, you're leaving attraction on the table. Think about it. How many times has a woman lightly brushed your arm, touched your hand for just a second too long, or playfully pushed you during a conversation? You probably assumed it was just casual, friendly contact. But what if I told you that every touch, no matter how small, carries meaning? That she's communicating something without saying a word? Most men go through life completely blind to these signals, wondering why they keep missing opportunities with women. They assume attraction is only verbal, that words are the key to connection, when in reality, a woman's body language, her physical engagement, reveals far more than she'll ever admit out loud. Women don't just touch for no reason. A slight brush against your hand, a lingering touch on your shoulder, or even a light tap on your chest. These are all signals. And if you're not paying attention, you're ignoring one of the most powerful forms of communication and attraction. This isn't about overanalyzing every little gesture, but about recognizing the difference between friendly and intentional. Women feel chemistry through energy and physical connection long before they express it with words. And if she's touching you, she's trying to feel something, whether it's comfort, attraction, or even testing your confidence. Here's the deal. By the end of this, you'll never misread a woman's touch again. You'll understand when it means she's interested, when it's just platonic, and most importantly, how to respond in a way that builds attraction instead of killing it. If you've ever been in a situation where a woman touched you and you weren't sure what it meant, drop a 1 in the comments. If you think guys overanalyze this stuff, type 0. And before we jump in, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. 1. The subtle power of physical touch. Most men underestimate the power of physical touch, but for women, it's a deep psychological signal that reveals far more than words ever could. Unlike men, who often touch others casually or without much thought, women use touch as a tool of connection, comfort, and attraction. Whether it's a light graze on your arm, a lingering hand on your shoulder, or a playful tap on your chest, her touch means something. The key is knowing how to read it. A woman's touch is an energy exchange. She's not just making physical contact. She's sensing your presence, testing your response, and subconsciously assessing your confidence. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where a woman touched you and you felt something shift in the energy? Maybe she placed her hand on yours for just a second longer than necessary, or she brushed up against you in a way that felt intentional. That wasn't an accident. She's gauging how you react, whether you remain calm and collected or if you tense up and act unsure. Your reaction tells her everything. But here's the biggest mistake most men make. They assume every touch is a sign of romantic interest. Not every physical interaction is about attraction. Context is everything. A woman might touch you in a friendly, maternal, or even accidental way, but it's the timing, setting, and her body language that determine whether it actually carries deeper meaning. If she touches you while maintaining strong eye contact, leaning in, and engaging in flirtatious conversation, that's a clear sign of attraction. But if she pats your back like a buddy and immediately turns her attention elsewhere, that's a different story. Understanding when her touch means something, and when it doesn't, separates high-value men from those who constantly misread signals. If you learn how to read the energy, the setting, and her body language, you'll start seeing attraction cues everywhere. And more importantly, you'll know exactly how to respond. If you're enjoying these insights and still with me in this journey, let me know by commenting with a number 1 below. Thank you for sharing this time with me. 2. The 6 hidden signals in her touch. Now that you understand how powerful a woman's touch can be, let's break it down even further. Not all touches are the same. Some are friendly, some are subconscious tests, and some are direct signals of attraction. The problem? Most men fail to recognize them. But once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing these signals everywhere. Here are the 6 hidden ways a woman might touch you, and what each one really means. The accidental touch. Most men don't realize this, but an accidental touch from a woman is rarely just that. It's a signal. You're in the middle of a conversation, maybe at a bar, a coffee shop, or some casual setting, and suddenly, she lightly brushes her hand against yours. Maybe her knee gently touches yours under the table, or she reaches for something, and for a brief moment, her fingers graze your arm. You might think nothing of it, assuming it was just an innocent mistake. Wrong. A single, quick touch might be purely coincidental, but when it happens more than once, it's intentional, whether she realizes it or not. Women use subtle, indirect ways to test attraction, and touch is one of the most powerful ways they do it. Unlike men, who might casually bump into someone without a second thought, women are far more aware of their personal space. If she's making contact, especially multiple times, she's gauging your reaction, sensing your energy, and subconsciously testing your confidence. These accidental touches often happen in social environments where physical contact feels natural. You're sitting next to her, and she leans in just enough so that her shoulder rests lightly against yours. She laughs at something you said and playfully taps your hand. Her leg brushes against yours, and she doesn't immediately move away. These aren't random acts. They're subtle ways she's breaking the physical barrier and seeing how you respond. And here's the key. If she wasn't comfortable with you, she would make sure these touches never happened. If she's interested, she will find ways to create small, effortless moments of physical connection. But most guys either miss the moment completely or, worse, overreact and kill the attraction. If she touches you, don't flinch, don't apologize, and definitely don't act surprised. Instead, hold your frame, stay relaxed, and let the moment flow naturally. If she does it again, that's your confirmation she's interested. The prolonged hand touch. There's a difference between a quick, friendly touch and a touch that lingers just a second too long. And if you're paying attention, you'll know exactly what it means. The prolonged hand touch is one of the clearest indicators of comfort, connection, and potential attraction. Picture this. You're in a conversation with a woman, maybe sharing a joke or telling a story, and suddenly, she places her hand on yours. It could be as she's laughing, emphasizing a point, or reacting emotionally to something you said. But instead of pulling away immediately, she holds it there for just a moment longer than necessary. That extra second isn't random. It's a test, a message, and an invitation all in one. Women don't extend physical contact unless they feel comfortable with someone. Unlike a casual tap or accidental touch, a prolonged hand touch is intentional. It's a way for her to feel connected to you, gauge your reaction, and subtly explore the chemistry between you two. If she holds your hand, even briefly, she's testing your energy. Do you stay relaxed, or do you tense up? Do you acknowledge the moment, or do you awkwardly pull away? How you respond in that split second can determine whether the attraction builds or fades. Here's where most men fail. They either overthink it or ruin the moment. Some guys panic and pull their hand away too quickly, signaling discomfort or nervousness. Others make the mistake of reading too much into it and grabbing her hand in return, which can feel forced and unnatural. The key is to remain calm and confident. If she lingers, let it happen. Hold your frame, maintain eye contact, and keep the conversation flowing naturally. If you sense the moment is right, you can subtly reciprocate by lightly brushing your thumb against her hand or allowing the contact to settle before smoothly transitioning. This kind of touch doesn't just happen randomly. It's a comfort and attraction test. If she places her hand on yours and lets it stay, it's a signal. The question is, do you recognize it, or do you let the moment slip away? If you're still watching and finding resonance in these insights, I'd love to hear from you. Comment with number 2 below to let me know you're here. Thank you for being part of this journey and for sharing your valuable time. The playful push or tap. You're joking around with her, the conversation is flowing, and suddenly, she playfully pushes your shoulder or lightly taps your chest. It seems innocent, right? Just a casual, friendly gesture? Wrong. This kind of playful physical contact is one of the most common ways a woman subconsciously tests attraction and comfort levels. Unlike a lingering touch, which can feel more intimate, a playful push or tap is a low-risk way for her to break the physical barrier without making it obvious. Women use this move when they're feeling comfortable around you, but more importantly, when they want to see how you handle physical touch. It's light, fun, and seemingly harmless, but don't be fooled. There's a deeper meaning behind it. Here's the key. If she does this once, it might just be part of the interaction. But if it happens multiple times, she's testing you. She wants to see if physical contact between you two feels natural or if you react awkwardly. The way you respond in these moments tells her everything about your confidence and how comfortable you are in your own skin. Most guys either ignore it completely or overreact. If you just stand there stiffly, not acknowledging her touch, she might assume you're not interested or that you lack confidence. On the other hand, if you instantly escalate by grabbing her or making it a big deal, you risk ruining the playful vibe and coming off as too aggressive. So, how should you handle it? Simple. Match her energy. If she pushes your shoulder playfully, you can smirk and lightly push back. If she taps your chest, you can tease her in return. The key is to stay relaxed, make it effortless, and show her that you're comfortable with physical interaction. Women don't playfully push or tap just anyone. If she's doing it to you, she's comfortable, and she's watching to see how you respond. The only question is, do you pass the test or do you fail it? The leg or knee touch. Is she closing the distance? Ever been sitting next to a woman and felt her leg or knee lightly touch yours? Maybe you thought, it's just the way we're sitting. Wrong. This is one of the clearest signs that she's testing physical closeness, and if you don't recognize it, you're missing a major signal of attraction. When a woman lets her knee or leg rest against yours, even for just a second, it's not random. Women are naturally aware of their personal space. If she wasn't comfortable with you, she would move away immediately. But if she stays there, or better yet, subtly shifts closer over time, she's signaling comfort and possibly attraction. Here's the real test. What happens when you gently touch back? Most guys either do nothing and let the moment pass, or they overreact and pull away out of nervousness. Both are mistakes. The key is to read her response. If you let your knee rest lightly against hers and she leans in rather than pulling away, that's your green light. She's interested. This type of touch often happens in low-key social settings, sitting side by side at a bar, on a couch, or even in a car. It feels casual and unintentional, which is why most guys fail to see the deeper meaning. But make no mistake, if she's letting her body stay close to yours, she's feeling the chemistry. So how do you handle this? Stay calm. Don't pull away unless she does. If the moment feels natural, let it linger. If she starts to lean in more, you're in a prime position to escalate attraction. Women don't touch like this by accident. If she's letting her knee or leg press against yours, she's waiting to see if you recognize the signal. The only question is, do you? The guiding touch, a subtle move of connection. Ever had a woman place her hand on your lower back, forearm, or shoulder while walking past? It might have seemed like a simple, casual touch, but trust me, it wasn't. Women are highly selective when it comes to physical contact, and this kind of touch is reserved for men they feel comfortable, safe, and connected with. If you've experienced it, pay attention. She's giving you a signal. Unlike playful touches or accidental brushes, the guiding touch is more intentional, though still subtle enough to feel natural. It's a move rooted in closeness and comfort, a subconscious way for her to create a brief moment of connection while keeping things effortless. You might notice it when she walks ahead of you and lightly places her hand on your lower back, when she reaches out to guide you through a crowded space, or when she touches your forearm as she emphasizes a point in conversation. These touches aren't random. They reflect trust and familiarity. Here's the key. Women don't do this with just anyone. If she's keeping her distance, avoiding unnecessary contact, or only touching you in ways that feel purely social, she likely sees you as just a friend. But if she's finding excuses to make these small but deliberate physical connections, it means something. It could be her way of subtly building intimacy without making a bold move or testing how you respond to her touch. Most guys miss this or assume it's nothing. Big mistake. If she places her hand on you, don't flinch, don't overreact, just hold your frame. Stay relaxed, acknowledge the moment, and if the opportunity arises, reciprocate with a confident but natural touch. Women use physical contact as a way to gauge attraction, test comfort, and reinforce emotional connection. If she's guiding you with her touch, she's letting you into her space. The real question is, do you recognize what's happening, or are you missing it? The intimate touch, the strongest signal of attraction. If a woman touches your face, fixes your collar, or plays with your hair, stop right there. This is not just a casual touch. This is a high-level attraction signal, something women only do when they feel a deep physical and emotional connection. Unlike other forms of touch, which can be playful or subconscious tests, this one is deliberate, intimate, and reserved for men they truly feel drawn to. Think about it. Women are naturally protective of their personal space. They don't go around touching just anyone's face or adjusting a random guy's hair. If she's reaching out to fix your collar, brush something off your shirt, or run her fingers through your hair, she's closing the gap in a big way. This kind of physical contact is about more than just attraction. It's about trust, familiarity, and comfort. These intimate touches usually happen in moments of closeness. Maybe she's standing right in front of you, looking into your eyes, and instinctively reaches up to fix your shirt. Maybe she's laughing at something you said and absent-mindedly touches your cheek. Or maybe she tucks a strand of your hair behind your ear as an excuse to make direct contact. No matter how subtle it seems, it's a powerful statement. She wants to be physically close to you. And here's the biggest mistake men make. They downplay it or don't respond. If a woman touches you in this way, do not freeze up or act indifferent. Instead, hold the moment. Look into her eyes, smile, or lightly touch her back in return. This is not the time to be passive. It's a moment where chemistry is at its peak. Women don't make intimate touches on a whim. If she's doing this, she's already feeling a deep connection. The only question is, do you recognize it, and do you know how to escalate it? If you're still here and finding these reflections meaningful, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're on this journey with me. Your time and engagement mean the world. Thank you. By now, you know that a woman's touch is never random. You've learned the 6 hidden signals, each one revealing attraction, comfort, or a subconscious test. But here's the real question. Once you recognize these signals, what do you do next? Most guys either overthink it, freeze up, or react the wrong way. And just like that, they ruin the moment. But high-value men, they know exactly how to respond. Let's break it down. Here's how to handle a woman's touch like a man she can't resist. 3. How to respond like a high-value man. Recognizing a woman's touch is just the first step. Knowing how to respond is what truly sets a high-value man apart. Most men either freeze up, overanalyze, or react in a way that kills attraction. If she touches you and you hesitate, stiffen up, or act unsure, she immediately senses it. That moment of uncertainty signals a lack of confidence, and just like that, the attraction starts to fade. On the other hand, if you overreact, grabbing her hand too quickly, smiling too eagerly, or visibly processing what just happened, you disrupt the natural chemistry and make her feel self-conscious. Both reactions push her away. A high-value man doesn't fall into either trap. He stays grounded, relaxed, and fully present in the moment. When she touches him, he doesn't flinch or second-guess the situation. He simply lets it happen. This calm energy makes a woman feel safe and drawn to him. Unlike insecure men who either pull away or become overly excited, a man who understands attraction knows that touch is a natural progression, not something to fear or chase. If she lingers when placing her hand on his, he doesn't rush to react. He lets the moment breathe, subtly acknowledging it with eye contact or a confident smile before smoothly continuing the conversation. The key is to match her energy, not overpower it. If she playfully taps your shoulder, you can return the gesture naturally later in the conversation. If she lets her knee rest against yours, maintain your presence and see if she pulls away. Women are constantly gauging a man's response to touch. If he remains composed and mirrors her subtle cues without forcing anything, it deepens the connection. If she leans in, holds eye contact, and continues touching, she's opening the door for more closeness. But if she pulls away or avoids further contact, a high-value man doesn't chase. He simply lets the attraction rebuild on its own. Attraction is never about forcing things. It's about creating a space where chemistry can unfold naturally. A man who understands this can turn a single touch into something magnetic, while the guy who overthinks or reacts poorly will let the moment slip away. The only question is, do you know how to handle it? 4. The mistakes most men make. Most men completely screw this up. A woman touches them, maybe a light brush, a playful tap, or even a lingering moment, and instead of handling it with confidence, they either overreact, ignore it, or misread the situation entirely. One wrong move, and the attraction fades instantly. If you don't recognize these mistakes, chances are you've already made them without realizing it. The first and most common mistake: overreacting. A woman touches a guy, and suddenly he gets too excited, leaning in too much, grabbing her hand in return, or worse, verbally acknowledging the touch in an awkward way. If you say something like, "Oh, I see what you're doing," or "You're touching me a lot," you completely kill the moment. Women operate on subtlety and energy, and the second you make the touch a big deal, you break the natural flow of attraction. The second mistake? Ignoring it completely. Some guys get so caught up in their own heads that they fail to react at all. A woman touches them multiple times, even lingers, and they just sit there, clueless. In her mind, this translates to one of two things. Either you're not interested, or you're socially unaware. And trust me, neither of those options work in your favor. Attraction thrives on momentum, and if she's putting out signals and you're missing them, she'll simply stop. And the third mistake? Misreading friendly touch. Some guys assume that every touch means she's into them, which leads to embarrassing missteps. Context is everything. A woman who touches a lot in general, like when talking to friends or coworkers, might not be signaling attraction at all. A high-value man knows how to read the full picture, her body language, eye contact, and the overall dynamic, before assuming anything. If you're making these mistakes, it's time to fix them. Attraction is about reading energy, not forcing it. The question is, are you paying attention, or are you fumbling the moment? A woman's touch is never random. Every subtle movement, every lingering contact, every playful tap carries meaning, but most men completely overlook it. They assume a brush against the arm is meaningless, a playful push is just part of the conversation, or a lingering hand touch is pure coincidence. Wrong. Women don't make unnecessary physical contact with men they aren't comfortable with, and when attraction is involved, touch becomes one of the strongest, yet most silent, forms of communication. Now that you've learned the 6 hidden signals behind a woman's touch, you'll start noticing them everywhere. The way she lets her knee rest against yours instead of pulling away. The way she playfully taps your chest when she laughs. The way she accidentally brushes against you more than once. These moments aren't coincidences. They're invitations, tests, or confirmations of attraction. But knowing these signals is only half the battle. The real question is, what will you do when it happens? Most men either freeze up, ignore the moment, or overanalyze it until the energy dies. A high-value man, however, knows how to read the situation, match her energy, and let the chemistry build naturally. He doesn't react with hesitation or desperation. He remains composed, aware, and confident. Women don't just test men with words. They test through body language, touch, and subtle cues. If you're paying attention, you'll always have the upper hand. So now, it's time to check yourself. Have you ever misread a woman's touch? Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever overlooked a signal before. If you've never thought about it this way, type 0. And if this opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Because once you recognize the signs, you'll never miss them again. The moment going. She's hoping you do something with it. Maybe she shifts closer instead of pulling away. Maybe she slows down her movements, grabbing her drink, adjusting her jacket, but somehow not actually leaving. And here's the key. If she doesn't have anywhere urgent to be, yet she's still standing there, what do you think that means? She's making time for you. If she was indifferent, she'd be gone already. But she's not. Now, here's where guys mess up. They let the moment die. They say, okay, see you later, completely missing the fact that she was giving them a perfect opportunity to escalate. Instead, what you should do is hold the moment. Drop your tone slightly, slow down your words, and say something like, "You don't really want to leave, do you?" with a smirk. If she laughs, blushes, or hesitates even more, you've got your answer. Bottom line, if she's lingering, she's interested. The only question is, are you going to step up or let the moment slip away? If you're still here and finding these reflections meaningful, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're on this journey with me. Your time and engagement mean the world. Thank you. 6. She playfully challenges you. You ever had a woman look at you with that mischievous smirk, shake her head, and say something like, "I don't know if I can trust you," or "You seem like trouble"? Maybe she jokingly rolls her eyes when you say something cocky, or she throws in a playful, "Oh please, you think you're so smooth, don't you?" My friend, she's not pushing you away. She's pulling you in. When a woman teases you, challenges you, or acts like she's testing you, she's not trying to put you down. She's building tension. This is her way of flipping the script, making you work a little and seeing how you handle it. She knows you're attracted. She knows you're paying attention, and now she's playing the game to see if you can handle her energy. And here's where guys fumble the moment. They either get defensive and try to prove themselves, "No, really, I'm a great guy," or they laugh it off too much and change the subject, killing the tension. Both are mistakes. The right move? Play into it. If she says, "I don't know if I can trust you," don't reassure her. Smirk back and say, "You definitely shouldn't." If she calls you trouble, hit her with, "You have no idea." Keep it light, flirty, but charged. Women don't challenge guys they aren't interested in. If she's playfully pushing you, she's waiting to see if you can push back. The only question is, are you going to pass the test or fail it? 7. She touches you and doesn't pull away. You ever notice how some women just find excuses to touch you? Maybe it's a playful push when you joke around, a light tap on your arm, or even brushing something off your shirt that wasn't really there. My friend, that's not random. That's her way of initiating contact, building tension, and testing your response. Here's the thing. People don't touch others unless they want to. If she's comfortable enough to reach out and make contact, she's already breaking the invisible barrier between you two. And the real giveaway? She doesn't pull away. A quick, friendly tap is one thing, but if her touch lingers just a little longer than necessary, or if she does it repeatedly throughout the conversation, that's a huge sign she's into you. Now, here's where most guys mess up. They either freeze and don't respond, or they assume it's just friendly and ignore it. Both are mistakes. If she's touching you, she's subconsciously inviting touch in return. The right move? Mirror her energy. If she touches your arm, Hold eye contact and let the moment breathe for a second before subtly returning the touch.